If we want to really grow a podcast, there's two things to do. So get ready to take notes. There's two things that you could do. One of them is to guest on other people's podcasts. Why? Because 100% of the listeners of that podcast listen to podcasts. 100% of the listeners of that podcast in your genre are interested in your genre. It's really, really easy if you're being on somebody else's podcast to have a call to action that says, check out my podcast. If you would like another free resource in this area, if you're doing life coaching, and then you would say, I coach coaches. And if you want to become a life coach, this is a good podcast. And I've got a free one as well. Go over here. Or if you're liking what this is about entrepreneurship, I would recommend, this is what Adam says often, I would recommend that you have a podcast as the top of the funnel because it's going to grow your business. It's going to support you because you need people to know, like, and trust you. I'll say on that podcast, you need people to know, like, and trust you. Well, the podcast is how do they know you? So I'm hoping that you, the listener of that other person's show, is who I'm talking to right now. If that's what you're looking for, jump over to my podcast. It's called The Podcast on Podcasting. This is the value that we drop. I would like to see you there, especially if it can help you. And it's totally for free. Okay. That's a great place to do it. The next place, it costs more money than just being interviewed on somebody else's podcast. Okay. And that is to do advertising. So you can do advertising on Spotify. You can do advertising on Buzzsprout. My team does advertising with private messages where we personally invite the person, each and every person that fits your perfect avatar. We reach out to them on Facebook, LinkedIn, and meetup.com. And as we start a conversation with them, we make it go to the place where we ask them if they've heard of your podcast. I want you to be on other people's podcasts. It's one of the biggest, best ways that you can grow your audience. And secondarily, I want you to find ways of doing paid ads because that investment could pay you dividends. For an example, we had a client, his name's Alex. Alex came to us and he said, my podcast I've been going with this big package with you, and I've got this other guy helping me. My podcast has been costing me a couple $1,000s a month. Do you think I'm at a place where I could make money? And I was like, Alex, yeah, I'm looking at the numbers right now and you could make great money through your podcast. How much do you want to make? And he goes, it would be great if I could pay most of those expenses. I said, how much? And he goes, it's a little over $3,000 a month. Do you think that's even possible? I said, yeah, sit down with me. So Alex and I just sat down and we talked about him making money through his podcast. We talked about how many listeners he has because he was doing a package with us that we were doing some marketing. And now that package costs a little bit more. But anyway, we were doing that for him and he had plenty of listeners. So I spoke with Alex and I let him know you're doing just fine. Let me coach you on who to talk to and how to talk to them. So we did that. He went and talked to one person one time. He had literally one phone call and he got $5,000 a month. And he had another phone call just a couple of days later. And he called me and he says, I'm making $10,000 a month through my podcast. Thank you so much. Because he went from a place of not knowing that he had that ability. He went from a place of thinking that this was an expense and it became an asset to him. It became more of an investment that paid him dividends. Think about that. A, I want you to go out and get on other people's shows. B, I want you to find a way to put out paid marketing. We would love to help you with that if it's within your budget. If not, reach out to me, give me a call, and I'll share with you a few things that you could do without having to hire us. Awesome. I'll see you on the next episode.